award-winning food entrepreneur. I know a lot of you wonder what's your moon pies. Well, I've got some wise suggestions for you. Lemon moon pies, Sauvignon Blanc, Chenin Blanc, or Pinot Grigio. Stuart Reb Donald, acclaimed food and travel writer and world-class chef. I was the chef de casserole. I made the casseroles in the frozen food department. For more than a decade, they've combined their expertise to answer your questions and introduce you to the culinary movers and shakers you want or ought to know. 4-time Taste Award finalists, 12-time Nappy Award losers. They are the dynamic duo of dining. Keep screaming for more. Mike and Stu on FM Talk 106.5.
Hey, good morning and welcome to another edition of Sip and Chew Show. I'm Mike.
I'm
Stu. And that's Stu the Chew. So anyway, in case you were having problems figuring that out, it's a warm one out there. It's going to be another warm one according to the weather this morning.
Yeah, we're dead up in the middle of 6 months worth of summer.
Ooh,
so we're over the halfway point.
Yeah.
Just 3.5 months more, folks, and we'll see 70-degree temperature. It's really not been bad because of the rain.
Yeah.
It really.
Well,
my power bill last month was only $145.
I'm not even going to tell you mine. And we got a brand new air conditioner and had to put in 4 months after buying a house. I had to put a brand new air conditioning system in it.
What'd that cost you? Because I hear the prices are just
$14,000.
Yeah, that's insane.
We just had it at power bill.
I'm running a couple of $125 window units,
but
one at each end of the house, and I don't even have them on full blast.
Yeah,
keeps the whole house cool.
But all right, you're covered in trees too.
Yeah,
you're shady.
Yeah, but
you're shady.
Yeah, honestly, that house will not get over about 80 degrees with no AC because of that. But that's a water oak.
Yeah,
and it's a little over 50 years old.
Oh, it's on its way out.
Oh, I've got one giant. Well. The dent that was on the car on the back was a limb that came down on Thanksgiving Day, so I don't park the car under the tree anymore.
I think Bill Finch said that those things are dying as soon as they come up from an acorn.
Yeah, so but there's a giant limb that's on the roof that came down about a year ago, and but it's still alive, so it's heavy.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to get up there with a chainsaw and cut it off in sections.
There you go. Fire.
But it's not hurting anything now.
Firewood.
Exactly. It'll be firewood.
Grill.
Yeah, well, fireplace, so I don't have to run the heater in the winter. It is amazing how much different my power bill is if I have firewood and run my fireplace.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be in half. Without it, it'll be over $300
in
Mobile to heat. I had before Lightning took it out, I had about a 35-year-old heat pump on that house. And Lightning knocked it out. I saw HVAC guy, not HVAC folks, it's HVAC. And he said, he showed a picture of one kind of like mine and said, if you've got one of these, just keep it because the parts are everywhere. It can be infinitely fixed, and it doesn't cost the $12,000 to $14,000 that a new unit costs today. Now, it wasn't 5 or 6 years ago. We put a new one in the house next door, and it was $4,500. So buy the $10,000 more dollars in just 5 years.
First one I bought over 20 years ago was just $2,000.
Yeah.
And
but I mean, this is 5 years that the price has gone from $4,000 to $14,000.
They keep changing the Freon and all that.
That is a big
But I'll tell you, you don't want to, right, like the weather right now, to me, it's too hot to grill outside. And then you come inside and you turn the stove on and turn the oven on. It makes it hot then. So
that's why you need an air fryer.
I have an air fryer.
I've got the ones with the little bucket are useless to me.
Yeah, I know.
You can't put hardly anything in them. Get the ones that are the size of a toaster, a big toaster oven.
Got one of those.
Yep. And you know what? I got mine specifically because it was big enough for a frozen pizza.
Ours has a toaster up top and then the air fryer here. Then I got the Ninja. Both of these are Ninjas, by the way.
Ninja's a good product.
That looks like a
and if you want to sponsor us, I will say how good your product is all the time.
It looks like a big George Foreman thing. You lift it and it cooks bacon perfect. I have cooked.
You don't need no bacon, man.
I have cooked perfect filet.
For those worried about it, he's talking about turkey bacon.
No, I
Toy bacon.
Real bacon. Oink, oink bacon. And I have cooked perfect filet mignon in my air fryer.
I tell you, when Red Star Tavern was open, they used for their steaks what's called an over-under broiler.
Mm-hmm.
You set it on, you pull a shelf out, and that's where the grill is. You set the steak on it, and you push the shelf back in. There's a broiler coming up underneath, traditional char broiler, and then one on top blowing straight down. That's an over-under. That makes awesome steaks.
Mm-hmm.
You really get the crust on the outside. And, one of the issues that I have, like, if you go to Waffle House, where they do a really thin steak, to get caramelization on it, you're going to have to eat it medium or better. If you do medium rare or rare on a thin steak or a thin burger, you get none of the Maillard reaction, which is what makes it brown and crusty on the outside. You're just sitting there eating a raw piece of meat, basically.
Yeah.
Without that char on the outside.
Or overcooked.
Yeah. That char on the outside is what makes the flavor. So you need thick. So best burger, just straight up plain burger, no frills that I've ever had, is in New Orleans, which is not known for being a burger city, at Port au Call, the dive bar on Esplanade, or however it's pronounced. Their medium burgers are not mashed down. They're about an inch thick.
Yeah.
And then they mash down for medium well and well. That allows you to get all the char and everything of a medium well burger, and it still be nice and medium rare on the inside. The other thing I like about that, their choice of cheese is none or shredded cheddar. And no, we're not going to melt it. What touches the meat melts, and that's important because I understand liking the texture of the melted cheese. It's luxurious, it's gooey, I get it. But when you melt cheese, you lose flavor. There's no way to avoid it. Cheese has more flavor, not melted. So when you put the shredded cheese on top, what touches the burger actually melts and gives you the gooiness, and what doesn't melt gives you flavor. And that's why when you make macaroni and cheese, you should only use sharp cheddar for that. If you use medium sharpness cheddar cheese, you'll get what Church's Fried Chicken serves.
Mm-hmm.
A mac and cheese that does not taste like cheese. They're putting the same amount of cheese in it, but they're not using sharp cheddar.
What makes it sharp?
I believe it's salt.
Okay.
That's basically what it is. I do not know enough about fromagerie to really speak on it. I don't feel confident in it, but I think it's just salt.
Fromagerie.
Fromage. The French word for cheese, fromagerie, would be the craft of cheese making.
Not Kraft cheese.
well, Kraft shredded cheddar.
Kraft was easier to say.
Kraft does make a shred that's very interesting, and I use it in some of my redneck dishes because it is shredded cheddar and shredded American. So you get real cheese and that artificial cheese. You get both the things you like from, because American does not have a lot of flavor. It tastes better cold than it does melted. When you melt it, it loses. Right, but it has a wonderful texture to it.
And it's got to where it sucks hiding pills for your dogs.
That's what you need your cheese whiz for. Or, they actually make little edible things to put the pill in and give them.
They figure it out.
Yeah. But, yeah, so that burger, and that menu is so simple. I think it's a filet mignon, a T-bone, a salad, a cheeseburger. And your options for sides are a baked potato, a salad.
I've eaten there before. We went over there for the Italian Irish parade in Metairie, and then we went over to the French Quarter, and that was our first stop.
Well, that's not actually in the French Quarter.
No, it's not. It's up around Frenchman Street.
Yes, the Marigny, I believe they pronounce that, which is a cool neighborhood.
Well, that area
is the modern French Quarter in New York.
Well, you got Frenchman Street, and you got that area, which it's just a block or two from each other, and it's all walkable, and it's really nice.
A lot of more modern things there, a lot more diversity in the cuisine. I interviewed for a restaurant job to be the executive chef at you would love this, a rum bar. I was going to open there. And so I got a chance to experience it. 251-343-0106.
Is there an echo there?
Somebody hit that ball chorus pedal. Somebody just kicked on that ball chorus pedal. A chorus effect for guitars and other musical instruments is a
For more than
digital
50
sample
years, Mobile Bay
of
Magazine
what
has
you're
showcased the
playing
history, style, arts, dining, and
like
entertainment that
half a
defines
millisecond
excellence on
off.
both sides of
So
Mobile
it
Bay.
gives the effect
Each month's
that
issue is
it
filled with our unique Southern
What's it called?
Alabama
Phasing.
culture, beautifully captured and
The
told through
phasing
engaging
changes
articles and stunning
frequency
photography.
from
When
low
you
to
subscribe to
high.
Mobile Bay Magazine,
you
you'll be
can-
swept into the
but
pages where
when-
recipes, familiar places,
It's
and
an
faces,
electronic
and
effect, so
untold
you-
stories
the-
abound. Start your journey
frequencies
today
bouncing
by
off each
visiting
other, so it appears it's
mobilebaymag.com. That's
Yeah.
mobilebaymag.com.
The Home Service Club sponsors
Yeah,
this paid
it's
advertisement.
voiceover.
Attention
It's
homeowners.
like-
Broken AC,
Yeah. Real
$4,600.
simple. You just basically move it just, when you're editing, you just
For
move it
total
just a smidge.
$1,000.
Remember in the
You
80s,
need
like,
home warranty
man,
coverage.
look
from
at
the
that
Home Service Club.
pedalboard on his
For
stage.
regular
It's awesome. And
Any of your
then
covered
the Advertise
appliances,
3000
systems
came
break
out.
down.
There was just one little
HSC
rack mounted unit. You did everything ever.
HSC has
Well, it's like the move,
15,000
you know?
pre-screened,
Yeah,
back
highly
in,
rated
Did
technicians
you ever
with the
hear
best
of a singer
response
called
time
Howard
in the
Jones?
industry.
Yeah.
HSC
Yeah,
offers
he's showing up a lot now.
He's a
But he's showing up a whole lot
Oh,
now
No
on
obligation quote from a
Instagram.
trusted
And I follow
HSC
him.
service
And
specialist.
he's shaved over here,
Oh,
but
yeah.
still long hair.
Still got-
And still got the voice, and
Money
it
back
sounds
guarantee.
great. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, he
following him.
was, he was, yeah,
744
when Thomas
Call now
Dolby,
and get your
Thomas
first
Dolby
one. Oh, yeah.
was
Plus
science
$75 off your first year.
before you got into the
800-929-7449.
But
800-929-7449.
Howard Jones came out
That's
with his first song called
800-929-7449.
But
800-929-7449.
he was sitting
Are you
behind
looking for
all
more
these
in this
keyboards. I mean, it was
Are
just
you
like
ready for
layers.
something bigger?
And there's
Then we are looking for
there's
you.
another,
The big-hearted,
I don't
the
know, he's
bold,
newer.
the
This
messy,
guy's got the
gutsy,
whole room. And he
the
makes,
teachers,
you know,
the
the
growers,
beatbox,
the
whatever, off the
builders,
box, he'll just
the
do the
skilled,
rhythm.
the
And it's
sheriffs,
like he keeps layering
the
it.
change
And
makers.
watching him do it is just
We need
fabulous.
you.
Man, the most massive keyboard setup I've
In
ever
more than
seen
60
live.
countries,
Rick
we
Wakeman.
go all
I was
in,
about to say,
all
yeah.
out.
I was just
Your
gonna say that.
volunteers,
And I remember
partners,
John Anderson was
communities
introducing
working
each
together,
member of the band
living
and giving them
together,
the segment.
bringing our
And he
experience,
goes, on the
passion,
first
and
day,
joy to building a
God
better
created
world
the harp.
together.
On the second day, he created the piano.
To
On
keeping
the
kids
third
healthy
day,
and
he
connected.
created the
From
keyboard.
sustainable
On the
farming in
fourth
the
day, he
Philippines
created
to
the
education in Kosovo. We learn, give
I see that,
share
that
freely,
was that,
and serve boldly.
reunion
Are you
tour
ready to
where
tackle the tough
you had
stuff?
Trevor Raven
To go
and
the
Steve
distance
Howell.
to make a difference? Then we have a place where you
I hear they're going back on tour,
Join
but
us
I
at
met someone that were in Mobile a couple of years ago.
Every Monday
We
at
drove
7,
up to Pimlico.
Jennifer Boozer presents Sweet Home
I see
Canabama.
that,
Brought to you by
the
Canabama
bass
in
player
downtown
for
Mobile.
what?
And sponsored
Yeah,
by
yeah,
Dopey
Getty
Distribution.
Lee, he's been
Answering
playing
your
with
questions with accurate
yeah,
information
so,
and
well, yeah,
dispelling
Neil
the
passed
myths
away.
of cannabis.
Russ
Featuring
is
guests
something
from
for him,
every
that's
corner of
Russ.
the cannabis industry. Check
But they had retired. He
Canabama.com
was just
and email
Neil's
comments to
such
info@canabama.com. And
All
join
the
Jennifer
supporters.
Boozer Monday at 7 for Sweet Home Canabama
Well,
on FM Talk
Neil's,
1065.
they're professional athletes that could not handle
For
what
more
Neil
than a
did on
decade,
stage.
they are
They
the
never
dynamic
fight
duo
back
of
about
the day.
shaving. We need to play the struggle.
On FM Talk 1065.
Hey, Stu,
Hey, Michael, did you eat anything new recently?
I ate this thing. Had some, I don't know if it's influenced by James Bond or whatever. Bond
Me.
Mi. Man, that was good.
Yeah, we Mike and I tried out, as we promised, the new Banh Mi Cafe last week on Azalea Road, right next to Pot of Pho, if you're trying to fix it in your head. Yeah, so also Vietnamese food.
Yeah.
I've been to Pot of Pho, phenomenal pho. I don't recall seeing a Banh Mi on the menu.
Mm-hmm.
So it's perfect that a Banh Mi shop is right next door. And
Yeah.
then you've also got Share Tea, which is a chain. I believe it started in Korea, but I'm not sure. And it's the milk teas and boba tea, which I love. I have found that in Vietnam, they really don't do a whole lot of dessert, but they will pour sweetened condensed milk in or on just about anything. And that's what a lot of the milk teas are, is it's tea, and then they pour the sweetened condensed milk into it. And then different flavorings. And then the boba is tapioca pearls that are at the bottom. It's kind of like gummy bears, only healthy. And there's a huge divide out there with boba tea. You either love the tapioca pearls or you hate the tapioca pearls. But there's no one that's just like, I could take it or leave it. I love them. It's a neat tech. It's a drink you get to chew. I'm the chew of sipping.
I've had it before.
Yeah.
I've had it before. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Was it 5 flavors? 3 flavors. Asian cuisine that used to be in Tillman's Corner. I believe now it's on Schillinger's. They had a honeydew melon boba tea. Just unbelievably good. The honeydew melon flavor was just unbelievable. So that right there in that one little strip where we were.
Yeah. You got a grocery store there. You got
right.
an Asian market.
Market. Yeah.
And it just, you get your Asian on there.
Yeah.
You get your Asian on there for sure.
And it's a good thing for people to understand because Mike is learning this as I am forcing him into the various Asian foods. Asian food is not just what you've seen on a Chinese buffet.
I've probably been eating more noodles and vegetables combined in a broth than I ever have in my life.
And it's terrific.
It is.
And Japan has the least amount of heart disease and heart-related ailments of any nation in the world. And they don't eat brown rice there. They eat white rice. So all these nutritionists tell you, you got to eat brown rice. No, you don't. They don't eat brown rice in Japan. They get the bran off of it. They eat white rice, and they are the healthiest people in the world. Of course, number 2 behind them is France, with the least amount of heart disease. And they eat heavy cream and butter all the time, but they drink a lot of red wine with the resveratrol, and they walk everywhere they go.
Oh,
so
a lot of yours does.
Yeah,
so bicycle.
Yeah,
bicycles.
Yeah,
fuel is so expensive over there too.
Yeah, if you exercise a lot, you can eat anything you want.
Oh, my friend Derek Knight.
Yeah,
he's like lost half a body.
Yeah,
and looks great.
Yep.
And he's a tall guy.
Yeah,
but
he walks a lot.
He walks every day, all the time. And I had another guy I knew used to own a restaurant and a bar downtown. He does anymore, but I didn't recognize him one night and one afternoon, and he told me his name. I said, "Oh my God, man, you're half the size you used to be." I said, "What do you do?" He said, 5 miles a day. 5 miles a day. And yeah, I believe you could eat just about anything you want, and if you walk every day, you don't have to go to the gym.
Yeah. It should be a balance.
Yeah. Don't overeat. Don't go back for seconds.
Yeah.
There
was a fundamental change in American society that happened around 1960. Prior to that, dinner plates were 9 inches in diameter. And there became a trend to add a 1-inch rim onto the plates, making it 10 inches. Well, Americans didn't realize they weren't supposed to put anything on that 1 inch. It was just for decoration. And people started filling the plate like they always had. It didn't dawn on them, hey, this plate is bigger. This is how much I'd already put on a plate, and I had it this full, and everything was fine. But that extra inch added a whole lot more calories. And that is the very beginning of the obesity epidemic in America.
I think it's part of that.
Yeah.
I think the other thing is the processed food.
That came later on.
Oh, well, I'm just
saying that's the 1970s.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter was approached by a chemical company called Monsanto, who said that they had come up with a genetically modified corn that could stand up to their Roundup weed killer, but not harm the corn. And Jimmy Carter said, we've spoken with the FDA. They said they're ready to test it. It'll take about 20 years, which is the minimum anything should be tested to see the effects on the human body, because that gives you 2 generations. 20 years, and we'll know whether or not it's safe. And Monsanto said, yeah, you sure you can't speed that up a little bit? And they threw a little money around. And the FDA said they could have some preliminary stuff in about 10 years. And then Monsanto decided to address his ego. You could be the man. And because Jimmy Carter was a good man. So the money wasn't working with him. But they said, you could be the man that single-handedly wiped out hunger and starvation on planet Earth. No testing at all. Genetically modified corn immediately went into our food system. And that is what turned a possible obesity crisis into an epidemic.
The other side of that, there's a lot of connections to what you're talking about, because growing up in the Midwest,
Mhm.
you know, you had a lot of farmers privately owned. That changed very quickly around that same time because of that.
Because of
Genetically modified. Well, our fields over here are supported
Mhm.
through research, and that money was too good to pass up. So the farmer would say, okay, sure, you could take this many acreage out of what I own. Bam, they turn it into.
Yeah, there's a
the
couple of
cattle.
documentaries. One of them is called King Corn.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important that if you want to understand the issues in our food system, that you watch it.
Yes.
Monsanto is a horrible corporation. I know that they are big in Baldwin County, but they are not a food company.
No.
They are a chemical company. They
Yep.
should have nothing to do with our food system. But they did something. They essentially, in my opinion, they bribed a lot of judges. Because federal law, going back to the Constitution, prohibits the trademarking of a plant or anything botanical. But they were somehow got judges to allow them to trademark their genetically modified seed, which is illegal. You can't trademark that. It's a plant. Then they started, and this is all documented. This isn't conspiracy
Hearsay,
theory.
yeah.
This is all documented. Once they did that trademark of it, then they started deliberately cross-pollinating corn that wasn't genetically modified with theirs, so that they could then come into your property, test your corn without your permission, find their DNA in it, and then all of a sudden you work for Monsanto.
Right. That's what happened to a lot of farmers as well. Yeah.
It has happened in the U.S. and it happened in Canada. Nowhere else in the world do they allow American corn, unless it's to feed starving people, because of that, because it's genetically modified. Monsanto tried the same thing in Mexico. The Mexican government said,
No.
maize is a huge part of our culture. If we find genetically modified corn, your Monsanto corn growing in Mexico, we're putting arrest warrants out for all of you.
Wow.
With a shoot on sight order. Monsanto will not, their executives will not go to Mexico because they're criminals there.
Interesting.
That's how bad it is. And I've gone through it before. You take the genetically modified corn, you feed it to cows that aren't supposed to eat corn, they're supposed to eat grass. Instead of it going through their digestive system in 8 hours like grass does, it spends 4 days in their stomachs, which is the perfect breeding ground for E. coli.
Mm-hmm.
They then poop out their poop, which has 10,000 times as much E. coli in it as it should have. We then take that poop and we fertilize all of our farms, and that's why you get E. coli breakouts, which you shouldn't have, in things like spinach and cilantro. It's all connected back to that one thing of genetically modified corn.
Wow.
The other things we talked about, hydrogenated oil, which is another processed food that is horrible for you. It's terrible. Eat lard, it's healthier. Butter is healthier. That is another thing. And then what they just eliminated, a lot of these dyes that are made oil or the tar that comes out of coal. That's been causing the bulk of our mental health issues.
I was at the grocery store yesterday, and I heard a mom talking to her 3 little kids on the cereal aisle, and they were trying to pick out a healthier version, and she was reading all the dyes in there. No, honey, we can't get that one because they'll. Mom, we need this. We need this. Or, no, we need that.
Yeah.
And she was reading. No, it's got this dye. I like seeing that. I like seeing people being aware of what's going on.
Read the label. We'll talk about it more when we come back. 251-343-0106. One of the best benefits I've ever given in commercials is if you see an ingredient on the box that you
This
can't
information
pronounce.
update brought to you by Roy Lewis Construction,
Wonderful.
delivering
You see an
unparalleled
ingredient
value
on the
and
box you
quality
can't
on new
pronounce.
construction and commercial and industrial applications. Roy Lewis
That'd be pretty much
Construction,
99% of them now.
Oh, yeah.
relationship at a
Looks
time.
like Polly
Texas,
sorbet
Alabama,
80
Florida, and
and stuff like
Mississippi.
that. Polly sorbet.
Talk
Remember the old
106.5.
commercial, Polly,
Coast
Polly,
Weather
I can't
And
Jimmy
Dr.
Root.
Bill Williams.
They was reading iceberg. And then they put briars up there and said,
Afternoon showers
milk,
and thunderstorms. High
cream,
temperatures will be in the lower
sugar,
90s. Tonight, Evening showers and thunderstorms, lows in the lower 70s, and from Monday, mostly sunny.
He was reading another ice cream.
And highs in the lower
Ingredient
90s.
list was like
Meteorologist
this.
Dr. Bill Randall.
FM Talk 1065, the Gulf Coast Weather Authority.
To report a non-emergency crime, call the Mobile
Yeah,
County
you're right,
Sheriff's
though.
Office at 574-8633 or
Right.
use the online crime tip
Yeah,
form
like
at
that.
mobileso.com/crime tips.
And-
If you'd like to
and,
remain anonymous,
you know,
please provide as much
my,
information as possible. For
my
this and
daughter,
other safety tips, visit
son,
mobileso.com.
both living over in
Hi,
Romsdale.
I'm Dolly Parton.
Small
Experts all
number
agree that by reading with your child every day,
five,
you can
number
spark
five.
their imagination
But,
and inspire their early education.
Dolly's
all the
Imagination
sprays
Library
and
is
stuff like that.
dedicated to inspiring the love of reading by gifting books free of charge for Alabama children
we
from
got
birth
called
through
in
age
because my
5.
daughter
All
was
you need
having-
to do
all
is
of a
register
sudden,
your child on the
that issue-
website,
she
and
wouldn't
you'll start
have
receiving
them
books
before.
through the mail. Go to
It's color,
imaginationlibrary.com.
maybe Walmart
That's
stores, do
imaginationlibrary.com.
great Christmas
Sponsored by
anyway.
the Alabama Department of Early
All of a
Childhood
sudden,
Education, the ABA,
Maybe
and this
6
station.
months, wasn't even 6 months.
Attention
into
Medicare
moving over to
beneficiaries.
Robertsdale.
Are you getting all the benefits you need?
She
If you
was
have
acting
Medicare,
different,
you
Chris
may
was
now
acting
be able to
different.
get new benefits.
And they're right
Benefits may
where
include eyeglasses, wellness visits, gym
Todd
membership,
was living,
meal delivery,
right
and
in the
hearing
middle
aids
of
with
the
low
field.
copay.
Yeah,
To find
picture
out
all
which
around.
benefits you qualify for and to find out if you're getting
And
the benefits that you deserve, you
they
need
wanted
to
to
call
put
Best
her on,
Medicare. Our licensed insurance agents can look up your current benefits and tell you what additional benefits are available to you. It's
and I
easy,
said,
just one call.
no.
Tell us
They
the
said, well, maybe
deductibles
I
you
said,
prefer, the doctors you want to see,
Microdose
and if you want prescription drug coverage. The service is free and you have no obligation. You may even find plans with zero monthly plan premiums, zero copays on many services, and zero deductibles.
And
You deserve
so,
every medical
we-
care coverage
we drove-
benefit out
we
there,
drove
and we'll
this
help you
time.
get them. Call
Chris Mark Galaxy
800-431-6905. 800-431-6905. That's 800-431-6905. And let Best Medicare do the work for you.
Hello again, friends. I'm Randy
know.
Bergen, inviting you to join
you
me,
know,
Coach Mark
baby,
Cleveland,
baby,
and Coach
baby.
Mark Lassiter
Sounded
for the
like
Thompson
that,
Tractors
you know,
Presidential
here,
Award.
you know.
We'll be coming to you live from the Eastern
You
Shore
think I
Toyota
should-
Hyundai Studios
you
for
know.
2 hours beginning at 8 a.m.
And I
every Saturday
combine
morning.
that, I
We'll
think,
visit
with a
with
little
coaches,
bit of
athletes,
you know,
administrators, and
but
more as we'll keep you up to date on all things prep along the
Yeah.
Gulf Coast
Well,
and the
putting
state of
our- what are we
Alabama.
putting our
Wake up
ground,
with the Prep
putting
Sports
ground
Report
water, I
team
mean,
this
all that.
Saturday morning starting
Well,
at
you know,
8
the native
a.m. right
pelicans
here
are the
on
Delta.
FM Talk 106.5.
Those are not native pelicans.
To get on the line, call 343-0106.
EDT in the farm
Now
now,
back to
all
my guest
county
studio.
wiped out millions to zero.
You know,
I do
welcome back,
know, Mike.
folks. We got a real deep conversation going on here about dyes and chemicals and all that. Stu,
That's me.
going into what we've been talking about, because this is serious stuff. This is really serious stuff. And you know, Brandon, when he was growing up, we struggled a lot with learning problems and you know, attention deficit and all that, and slow learning but it seems like we didn't have that back when I was a kid. But I wasn't eating
You weren't consuming high fructose corn syrup.
that and all these processed foods like
Right.
chicken nuggets. You had a 2-income family, and you get home, you want to fix the quickest and simplest thing, and then they get to where that's all they want to eat, and you're sitting over there eating healthy, trying to eat healthy, and they're just wanting their packaged processed chicken nuggets and all that. Let's talk about our Robert F. Kennedy Jr., what he's trying to do. We're not trying to be political here. We're just trying to
Right.
make common sense.
Right. We only deal with politics when it deals directly with what we talk about.
Yeah, and I feel he's not doing politics. He's doing what he thinks is great for
Yeah.
America.
Because he was born wealthier than any of us will ever be. He doesn't need
Yeah.
politics to have power or wealth.
Right, right.
He's got some thought processes that are a little weird.
Yeah, I know.
But for the most part, yeah, these dyes in our food, we don't need them.
Mhm.
Just go with the natural color of food.
What's interesting is you said earlier before the break that these are made out of oils or petroleum products and stuff of that nature. That doesn't send a red flag to anyone.
Yeah, it's a real simple thing. You don't have to be a scientist to figure this out. If human beings haven't been eating a substance for thousands of years, and then all of a sudden you give them a substance for their body to process that their body has not experienced before. It's going to reject it. Just like if I take my liver and stick it in Steve, there's a good chance it's going to reject it.
Mhm.
You know, the body rejects things that it
Even with
doesn't
a
see as
nice
natural.
Chianti
Well, fava beans, you gotta have the fava.
and the fava
Even with all, I mean, think about there's 8 billion people on the planet. Okay. Each one of those individuals reacts differently to certain substances.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And so you have to take that into consideration, but we like to generalize and blanket everything.
Mhm.
That's the part we've come to. It's like, oh, as long as it works economically and everybody's, can afford it. It's not just that.
Yeah, well, keep in mind, convenience
Yeah.
is a code word for laziness. There was always this argument, well, I just don't have time to cook scratch for my family. Then you need to cut some other crap out. You don't need to go to hot yoga. Your kid doesn't need ballet lessons or to go to baseball. You need to scratch cook them 80% of the meals they eat. 80%.
Wow.
Anything more than that is child neglect because it's unhealthy.
It's neglect in general of yourself as well.
Exactly.
And part of the reason why you're
But that's
going and
your
exercising,
choice.
you're trying to burn off all
That's
this
your
other stuff.
choice. Your kids don't have a choice in whether or not you feed them garbage or not.
Mhm.
They're victims of your laziness.
It becomes natural for them, normal to them. It
Right.
normalizes it.
When my niece had her first 2 kids, she was going to be one of the mothers who was not going to be in the kitchen all the time. So it became a joke when they were young. Every time they heard a bell, they'd go, dinner's ready, because everything came in the microwave. She now cooks holistically, cooks. That's the biggest thing that I'm so proud of her. She cooks and enjoys it. But she grows her own stuff. They have goats just so she can make her own goat cheese and goat milk.
We do a protein, a lean and a green. We do a protein and we do a vegetable. Simple as that.
Right.
And
Here's
we
a little
don't
fact for you.
we don't I try not to put the breads and have potatoes over here, and that's a special occasion. On daily, nightly dinner, I try to have 2 items, a vegetable and a lean or a protein, and that's it.
Well, you should have balance, carbs, proteins, all that. Now, that's good.
Yeah,
But here's the thing.
give us your stat here.
The stat says one study found that 70% of the country's food supply is ultra processed.
Yep.
70%.
Ultra processed
Yeah.
too. Okay, if you take fresh green beans, you put them in a can with water and salt, seal the can, roll the can through hot water, which is how canned foods are cooked, by the way. They're cooked inside the can. That's a processed food. But it's not ultra processed because you've got water, salt, green beans, and heat.
Okay.
So we talked about tofu. That's an ultra processed food. White sugar is ultra processed.
Right.
It takes 23 different processes to go from sugar cane to that white sugar, table sugar that you see. 23 different chemical processes or mechanical processes that go through.
Including bleach.
Right. That's an old. And the great thing with what's most people know is sugar in the raw, the browner sugar, is because it still has the bran. It goes through your digestive tract 30% faster. That's important because if it's in your digestive tract 30% less, that's 30% less calories your body is absorbing.
And you mentioned it's fiber too, it's bran. So it's also helping
Right.
clean them.
And that's what the bran does. It pushes stuff through your digestive system faster so that you absorb less. Now, that's a bad thing if you're talking about vitamins and minerals. It's a good thing if you're talking about sugars and fats because our diet contains too many sugars and fats. And it's important to denote the difference. The sugars, nothing is simple. If it's simple, it doesn't work. There's no magic pill. There's 2 kinds of carbohydrates, simple and complex. Complex are fine. That's an apple because your body's going to break it down. There's plenty of fiber. It's going to push it through before your body absorbs all the fructose in it.
Most fruits are like that.
Right, exactly. Fruits are a complex carbohydrate. Bread is a simple carbohydrate. It's just a lot of sugar held together in a matrix formed by gluten and water and protein. But it's sugar. So I've told Mike before, if I'm eating pasta, there's no garlic bread. I know that's hard for a lot of people, hard for me.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, but if you have pasta, you don't need garlic bread.
I
If you're
do.
going to eat bread, you don't need pasta.
I do a simple thing with either butter and garlic or olive oil and garlic and pasta over here, and then I just combine them. And that's simple. Or maybe put some parsley in it, but I don't have garlic bread.
I can see people.
I don't have a salad over here with Italian dressing on it. I just have simple stuff. Just cook simple.
Yeah.
What I find amazing, and I see a lot of people shaking their heads right now, because the common menu, if you order something like a Pizza Hut or a Domino's or Godfather's or whatever, is not only do you have your pizza bread, but now you've got cheese bread, and then you've got other breads to go along with it as a side dish. Why is
That's a lot of bread.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of sugar.
Also, keep in mind, bread is not evil, and I don't like people that villainize bread.
Oh, I'm not doing
because
that. No.
without the invention of bread, mankind doesn't exist.
Manna.
Yeah, well, even beyond, I mean, the Egyptians made the first bread. They found out if you had flour and water, and there's a little sugar and a little yeast,
Boom.
it all comes together into something you can eat if you cook it.
Yeah.
And it may not be anything that we recognize today, but it would be unleavened bread, a lavish bread that you may have seen in international markets, a similar pita.
Do you know where wheat came from?
North Africa, I believe. Yeah.
Which is basically Egypt. Yeah.
Right. Which is, that's where Egypt is. It's Morocco, it's Tunisia. Yeah. It's the Mediterranean Sea, which is the most remarkable body of water on this planet when you look at it culturally. Because, as we mentioned, you've got Egypt, you've got Morocco, you've got Tunisia, you've got Libya. You hang that little curve north and look at there, you're in Israel. Then you got Syria, Jordan, all of that. You hang that little left up there, now you're in Hungary, Turkey, Italy, Greece, France, Spain, and it's all on this one body of water. And it's essentially all of Western culture came from the Mediterranean Sea. I've always been fascinated by it, the food, the culture, everything. Look at all the music that came from it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that wraps us all back around into Egypt came up with bread. We talked about it last week, how international the burger was. Mustard comes from India.
Right.
Ketchup originally from Asia, but was altered by the Italians to include tomatoes instead of fish heads. Cheese, I believe, also India.
No, it's Wisconsin.
But a lot of, and there's also a lot of this, a lot of technologies that they go, well, how did the Native Americans and the people in Egypt all come up with the same technology? Well, it's not that hard. If you want to build a tall building and you don't have anything like a superstructure, the only way to do it's in a pyramid shape.
Yeah.
It's just common sense. A lot of these things mankind figured out without being connected because it's logical. And so like cheese probably started in 2 or 3 different parts of the world all at the same time in different variations. Because if you've ever had paneer from India, which is a cheese made from whole milk, it looks like tofu. It sets up, you can cut it square, it's soft and gooey, but it's so delicious. It's just whole milk. And that is the only cheese I know of that comes from Asia is paneer. Because like the Banh Mi, you didn't see any cheese options on that, did you?
No.
Because there's no cheese in Vietnam. There's no cheese in China or Japan. As we know it.
I didn't know that.
As we know it in Europe.
Why would you think?
Just probably environmental conditions. Cheese evolved because we would store milk in the stomachs, use the stomach bladder, what's called ruminants, which are your 4-legged animals that walk around, have multiple stomachs like a cow. There is a chemical that is natural to that stomach lining that is what makes cheese start to set up. So they would put the milk in the bladder, and at the end of the day, cheese would come out. It was an accident. Beer was an accident. Wine was an accident. But
Teflon was an accident.
Was Teflon an accident?
Yeah, it was supposed to be a gas.
Real quick about Teflon, real quick. If you have Teflon coated pans, and anyone in your home, especially elderly or young, seems to get the flu a lot, it's because you're cooking too high on your pan. Teflon pans should not be cooked above medium heat.
Don't use Teflon at all.
I was going to say, that was a special. I like
Ceramic is a great nonstick surface. It's cheap.
All clads, I'm going to tell you, all clad for a good low end, you can buy them at Home Goods. all clad. Man,
To me, the most ultimate pans out there would be La Crusette, cast iron with a ceramic non-stick on the inside. Yeah, they're expensive, but you'll never need another.
251-343-0106 is the call to text in line. We're going to be wrapping it up in the next segment, our last segment for the day.
Ever?
Not forever, for today.
Oh. I had no idea what you were talking about. This is juice. And coming back to what we're talking
LCM
about.
offers financing for everyone. Buy here, pay here, traditional
That is
bank and
just
credit
rich
union
bread.
financing. Even if you're currently in bankruptcy, you can find the car or truck you're looking for at LCM Motor Cars and Financing right there. LCM in Theodore on Highway 90 at Plantation Road.
And they're
For
probably
more than
not
50 years, Mobile Bay
And that's
Magazine has
different.
showcased the history,
You
style,
probably
arts,
attest to
dining,
this more
and
than
entertainment
most
that defines
read
excellence
it,
on
not
both sides of Mobile Bay. Each month's
And
issue
it's
is
not
filled
to
with
keep
our
the
unique
humidity
Southern
per
Alabama
se.
culture. Beautifully
It's
captured
the
and
good,
told through engaging
it's the wheat
articles
that
and
we have
stunning
to grow to
photography.
stand up
When
to.
you subscribe to Mobile Bay
It's
Magazine,
not
you'll be
the
swept
same
into the pages with
as-
recipes,
and
familiar
it's
places,
referred to
and
as northern
faces,
wheat and
and
southern.
untold stories
The
abound.
northern wheat
Start your
makes
journey
better.
today by visiting
Yes, because
mobilebaymag.com. That's
what's in the land, what's in
mobilebaymag.com.
the sea, or what's in
Whether
the,
you want
what
trim,
goes out of the
chalk,
sea.
grind,
And
fluid, polish, or
nutrients,
sand, a variety of materials.
nutrients
Bayou
feeds
Fasteners offer best
and
in
that's
class bonded,
something
coated,
that
non-woven,
people
super
forget is
abrasive
when you
products
buy
for
into the bread,
industrial,
you're not thinking
construction,
about all the way
automotive,
back,
and
like we're
do-it-yourself
talking about
application.
with
Visit
the
Bayou
chemicals in
Fastener
it.
in
When it
Syrup.
goes, that
It's
chemical is also
summertime,
now
and you're ready to get out of the water.
you know, mixed with nutrients.
George's Water Sports authorized technicians can
What
help
you
you
don't
get
see
your
can't
vessel
hurt you.
worry-proof in no time. Be ready with Yamaha,
Good
Mercury,
birthday,
and
all that.
Suzuki
Yeah,
Marine
yeah,
service and
born.
parts, as well as trailer,
Well,
fiberglass repair, and detailing. Insurance claim, no problem.
Maybe on your
Schedule
list.
your service today at George's Water Sports on Monlamar Drive, Mobile.
We didn't know it takes
Prince
back.
Lily,
We
that's
just
who it was.
left in a hotel.
And it's today.
My mom was
The,
doing
uh,
drugs in the house.
Kid, oh, it's
Tay
Rachel
and
Yacht.
Brianna spent years of their
The yachts
childhood
that
in
own,
homes
time
that
on
weren't
section.
safe.
Okay.
They were placed in foster care and longed for a permanent, loving home.
I
I
sent
didn't
her
know what my future was.
I
package
wouldn't
of
speak
snack
to
of
anyone.
sausage.
I was afraid of
Sent it
everything.
up to her.
With help from the
This is
Dave
Southern
Thomas
sausage. She's
Foundation
like,
for
"Oh
Adoption,
my
Brianna
God."
and Tay
She
were
lives in New York,
adopted
but she
and now
lives
feel
off the coast.
excited about their futures.
I'm studying to be a chef,
Yeah,
and
Chris
I
Lilly
really
from
want
Big
to
Box
travel the world.
Gibson's,
I'm going to be a mechanic,
Master,
and I can focus on my career.
Right now,
And then Rachel
in the
Yacht.
United
The guy,
States, there
the
are
guy
more than
who owns,
100,000
Magnolia
children in foster care,
Grocery over in,
just like
Bowling.
Brianna and Tay, who
He
need
makes
a
his own
family
bologna. I had a
now.
bologna sandwich the other day.
Learn
They
how
make their own
you can
bologna,
help
they make their own
at
sauce. They make their
davethomasfoundation.org.
own hot dogs.
If you're a sportsman and love the great outdoors, you know how important it is to utilize the tips and tricks that really good fishermen and hunters know. That's why sportsman and marine editor and photographer John Belcher is sharing his knowledge gathered from a lifetime of
I
learning
love
what
the
works
decor.
and what doesn't. Listen for
It's
the
all
Outdoor
black
Tips
and white
Daily on FM
photos
Talk
of
106.5.
classic
You
New
may
Orleans
become more
dishes
successful
from
fishing
the
and
restaurants
hunting.
that do them.
Outdoor Tips with
They
John
do none of
Belcher
those
on
dishes.
FM Talk 106.5.
And they had a picture they put on Facebook
Get
one
on
day
the
online.
Call
going about
343-0106.
block.
Back to
Oh
your
no, good
podcast.
stuff. That was their Facebook. But they actually, they had been rented out.
Start singing all night, drinking wine,
Might look for something. All right, welcome back. Before we get back into our heavy subject we were on, I want to do some birthday shout outs. I want to say happy birthday to Greg Bushwell. Greg used to own a bunch of restaurants over in the beach area, and he's still a well-known guy and a heck of a chef.
He wised up and got out of the business.
Well, he's still in it, but he's
Bought a hemp
not
farm.
like he used to be. And but great guy overall. Want to say happy birthday to Andrew Manis, Coach Package Store in their empire. One of the many Manis.
The cigar empire.
Yes, and great wine shops and liquor stores.
I've been craving a cigar lately.
Go get you one. Nobody's stopping you. You're a grown man. And our friend Lauren Murphy, what a beautiful girl, lady, what a beautiful lady. Hard-working lady too.
Yeah.
Traveling a lot.
One of my favorite voices on the Gulf Coast. She's now living in Louisiana, but she still plays here a lot.
A lot.
In Fairhope, Gulf Shores. My schedule hasn't matched up. I love her style of music. A lot of it was written in Northern California when she was living in a cabin up in Sasquatch country. So it really speaks to me. It evokes a lot of that Western stuff that from my mom's side of the family.
Well, she sat here and played one time when you were out.
She brought her when I was here too.
She brought she bring that guitar and sing for us. You got some birthday, didn't you?
Yeah, Chris Lilly, the most famous pit master in the state of Alabama, Big Bob Gibson's.
Yeah.
In fact, just took
Memphis in May again.
Yeah, Memphis in May. I don't know how many times he's won pulled pork. But the place famous for their chicken, he keeps winning pulled pork. And also Rachel Yachts of one of the yachts that own. I'm telling you, that couple, the yachts, they look like they should be on a yacht. And they look like they should be on Esquire magazine. They look like movie stars, but they own Time on Section.
Okay.
And for a wonderful restaurant.
I was going to ask you if they have a yacht.
Well, this is spelled differently. They spell it YOTS.
Okay. All right. I got also yesterday was the Blue Marlin Grand Championship.
Really?
Yeah, over it. I want to go to that. I didn't know what was going on.
It was Pensacola, right? Is that
no, at the wharf in Orange Beach.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, that's right. Pensacola is the bill fishing tournament.
The Blues too.
$2.5 million in prizes.
Wow.
So guess who won it?
Not me.
A team called the Grocery Aisle. Who do you think that would be the Grocery Aisle? That had the
Rouses? Oh, was it
Donnie Rouse?
Oh, okay.
Donnie Rouse's team of Rouse's.
I bet Chef Nino was there somewhere.
I don't know. I don't think he does that anymore.
Yeah, but he still has a place in Orange Beach.
Probably does. I know that Rouse's do. And but yeah, they won the whole thing, and with the biggest blue marlin. So, and real quick too, I want to go to what national day it is. You're gonna love this. Tallow Day.
Oh, yeah. French fries, y'all. Beef tallow. That's what McDonald's used to fry their fries in before they turned into Frankenfoods. Before people decided that tallow was bad for you and they switched to shortening, which was far worse.
Speaking of which, going back to the subject, Paul, Americus, Georgia, is on the phone, called in a big fat surprise dealing with Monsanto and other foods. Could you explain that a little bit more, Paul?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Guys, I thoroughly enjoy listening to your show.
Thank you.
Y'all have great insight, particularly somebody that grew up working in restaurants. The stuff y'all talk about is just so neat because it brings back a lot of memories. There was a book called The Big Fat Surprise that I read years ago. And if you get a chance, it goes along with everything you're saying, but it talks about how Archer Daniels, Midland, and some of these other big companies push the hydrogenated oils, parquet, margarine rather than butter.
Yeah.
And the low fat, remember the low fat craze in the 80s? And basically the gist of the book is you're better off eating a baked potato with butter and sour cream because you're going to get full and you're not going to graze all night.
True.
But anyway, your topic is just fascinating. If you get a chance, check out that book. It's The Big Fat Surprise.
Big Fat Surprise. Okay.
Which was
appreciate the call, Paul.
Which is what I get called every time I go on a blind date.
Big Fat Surprise.
We let corporations get involved with our food, and that wasn't a good thing.
Not just corporations, government itself.
Yeah,
federal regulations. I mean, I get the idea of safety.
Yeah,
and we appreciate that, but the control, just like with anything, absolute power corrupts absolutely.
Right. The FDA and the USDA are two of the most corrupt departments in the federal government.
Well, it takes a little money and you get this to go.
Yeah, and we keep taking people who are from ideology concept opposed to what those agencies are supposed to do, and we put them in charge of it. Tom Vilsack has now been the FDA secretary twice. This is a man that no farmer in Iowa wants to live. He was the governor of Iowa, and they could not get him out of the state fast enough because he corrupted the farming system there.
Yeah.
And we have twice put this guy in charge of the entire, and he's not a farmer, folks. He's a lawyer. He is a lobbyist for Monsanto.
I was going to say, and you also look up his connections to DeKalb.
Mm-hmm.
Yuck.
Yeah.
And
we
you
keep
wonder why
putting these
you get
people.
tasteless food sometimes. There you go.
You know who should be in charge of the FDA? A chef.
Or at least on the panel.
Right. Hire someone that knows what they're doing. Don't hire a politician. Don't hire a lobbyist ever for any reason.
Like
That is
hiring
someone,
a plumber to fix your car.
right.
Like, you know.
Exactly.
It's kind of the same thing.
A chef should be over the FDA, at least the food part of it. A chef should be. You know who should be over the drug part? A pharmacist. Someone who knows what they're doing. You know who should be in charge of the agricultural department? A farmer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a professor from Auburn University or Texas A&M, one of these schools that is
agricultural
is
schools.
The reason that we are able to feed 330 million people on 1/10 the amount of farmland that we had 100 years ago. Put one of those people up there.
Yeah, it's hard to not go back to simple things when you've overcomplicated things and you've convinced the whole nation that this is no longer the way. It's easier the other way. No, it's not. Simple still works.
Look, I think time has a lot to do with everything.
Oh, yeah.
With feeding your family at night. You're so busy making the money to buy the food to feed your family and pay your bills and all that. But I would like to get back to, eating what's in season, eating as local as I can.
Right.
But let's talk about vegetables that are in frozen bags.
And those are perfectly fine.
I was hoping you would say
they are picked at the peak of. I would tell you now, buying a frozen vegetable at a grocery store is healthier than buying the fresh vegetables at a grocery store, unless it's something that is in season and purchased locally.
Now, let me add, Publix has the same. I like to go to all different kind of stores. Publix has these vegetables. They're not frozen. You put the bag, of course, you slit it open, put it in the microwave.
There's your convenience right there.
Yeah.
We'll provide you a cooking process with a fresh ingredient.
Pre-wash, good quality vegetables in a bag. You slice the bag. Actually, you punch holes in it. And you put it in the microwave.
And
you're in a hurry, and you've got a quality vegetable. Folks, thanks for listening to that. Sorry, had so much more. We'll talk more about this next week. Get out there, support local, be local, buy local, and of all things above all else,
provolone.
I'll get it out.
Yeah. How about the members today? Sorry about that.